New era in Rebel football. Like I just said, we just got here. I just recently left Oregon as the offensive coordinator the last 3 years. We've got a process here we're starting to develop, and we believe in the development and our trust. Some of the things we've done most recently, obviously within the program, within the philosophy, offensively and defensively now, as I start to transition to some of the thoughts that are more holistic in what we're doing, being able to see what we did there and take what we've done from Oregon in regards to, things like academic excellence, in regards to Justin was the Campbell Award winner, which is the academic Heisman, the team awards that go forth in the Pac-12 championships, and then you do things as far as having from top to bottom, offensively, defensively, then position related with the Outland Award and things we've done. I've got our GA here, Charlie Landgraf, who was at Oregon, that's going to help us facilitate some of the things we believe philosophically from O-line play and incorporate that with Cam Norcross, who's an amazing O-line coach who was fortunate enough to grab as well. And then the quarterback development and what we've done, we feel really strongly with. Justin is obviously was a key part of what we've done developmentally at that position, obviously being the apex position offensively in many things that we all do. I have to take this time to give a lot of credit to the guys I was raised around, and we wouldn't have this philosophy or development in our program if it wasn't for guys that I had a chance to be around as a young guy. I'm from a small town in Northern California, about 1,000 people. One stoplight was for a crosswalk. Colfax, California, just north of Rockland. Rockland, growing up, was the home of the San Francisco 49ers for any of you West Coast fans. And at that time, Bill Walsh, Bob McKittrick, all those guys were there. I was fortunate to be around and kick some balls around as a ball boy and be around and get some juice there in regards to the developmental and ground and foundation of what we fall back into now, which you didn't know when you were 8, 9, catching balls off the face or hearing guys saying certain things, but now fall back into it. Jeff Tedford, another huge piece of maybe the biggest part of my belief at this position, and was with Jeff for 2 years, and then studied with Jeff for all the years I was at San Jose to go up there and drive that 20-minute, 30-minute drive to Berkeley while he was there and watch him develop, let alone be recruited by him. Really has made the largest impact when it comes to me offensively, let alone quarterback development-wise. I was also fortunate to bring and meet Nate Longshore, who played for Jeff, who's our offensive analyst, who will be with us, who could help anybody who wants to come by and talk quarterback play at UNLV. We feel we've got a good plan. It's not the plan. Nothing I'll say today that we holistically believe is the way. It's a way. It's our way. And when we tweak it and we bend it, and it's just what we believe in, and we spend time like you guys, and you'll hear me say this throughout this thing today, every year of finding better ideas and little ways to tweak certain things we do. Dirk Cutter, another big influence of mine, from Oregon, Atlanta Falcons, Boise's, Arizona State's, another guy in the quarterback world that I lean on heavily. And then most recently got a relationship with Sean McVay at LA, who's now between that culmination of guys, we just I try to pick little things here and there to be able to progress like all of us and find little tiny notes or tidbits or coaching terms or some nuance that maybe help elevate what we do. I'm no different than any of you guys in that room in that regard, and none of the coaches back here are at all. Very humble in regards to doing that and planning and getting better, and we believe in that development. As far as offensive, proud of what we did there in the last few years offensively. We came in with a pistol theme. I'll kind of go into that a little bit as we go through, and I'm going to bounce around. This is a pretty organic talk, guys, so I'll bounce around a little bit. Very balanced. Won four FBS teams with a 3,000-yard pass and a 1,000-yard rusher in consecutive seasons at Oregon. We're going to run the football. We believe in it. I believe in balance in that regard. You'll hear some of the pistol things come out. My conversation that goes back to I had one of the Nevada coaches one of the Nevada regime guys was my high school coach at Colfax. Just happened to be part of it. Just being that close to Reno from where I'm at, the pistol aspect of it was something. And Coach Alt and that crew that I had a chance to be around and hear from organically, and that kind of carried over to philosophically where I transgressed over the last few years. Fortunate to go get Cam Norcross and Scott Baumgartner from Nevada that were at Nevada and invented the pistol. not just read it in a book, not just went to a clinic and tried to implement it like many of us do, which is phenomenal. Ground level there, screwed it up, got it right, screwed it up again, got it right, and spent an enormous amount of time. And then the last 2 years I've spent with Jim Mastro as our running back coach and running game coordinator at Oregon. So we feel like what we do is strong. There was obviously some going to Oregon, and there's some knee-jerk reaction there with offset and run, which is awesome. But us putting the back there a little bit was a little bit of a moment, okay? So we believe in it. There's some things that we'll talk about a little bit here in regards to that. The quarterback coach, I'm with Danny Langsdorf, who's also here as a passing coordinator, was with us at Oregon as well last year, or 2 years ago. Has a good feel for what we do as well. That's kind of philosophically where we're at. We got brand new facilities. The Fertitta complex is unbelievable. Brand new weight room, brand new everything, great facilities. We've also, one of the other components about our program moving forward is we've accompanied now the Allegiant Stadium is our home field. Not just something we plan for 1 or 2 games. We have our own field that rolls in with the Raiders. It was a huge component of why we're doing what we're doing. It's a $2 billion project. It's the best there is in the country. It's unbelievable. It is closed over the top. It's indoor. We got our own field at turf that rolls in from the outside, very similar to Dallas. You roll in their field, roll out our field. I encourage you at some point, if you get a chance to come watch a game, to do so just because the facility is unbelievable. These things are going to be the main reasons we've got the momentum we've got right now and kind of changing what we're doing. And facilities are one thing, and we all know this. Everyone wants to brag on facilities and everything like that. I just left probably one of the best in the country. But the people in the building are still the most important part. Don't ever lose sight of that. I'm passionate about that. I think the coaching staff I've got is as good as it gets. And we will make the difference in the young men's lives and how we win football games. This will help, but it's not the end all. Okay, we all know that. The jerseys and the locker room and the barber shop and all that is all good stuff, but that ain't gonna win me third and short. I promise you that. Some of the things we'll talk about today, and the men back there are going to be guys that get it done, and what you guys do on a Monday through Thursday or a Monday through Friday in many regards will really be the difference in everything you do. Don't ever lose sight of that. I won't. As the more further I go down the road, the more I realize that. And we'll talk a little bit about that today. New staff, just so you can get an idea who we are, and that way when we come see you, if you're at high school or you come see us, you know who's on our staff. Okay, Pete Hansen, I hired as defensive coordinator from Stanford. I won't get into all the accolades. He's been there for many, many years. 2009, 10, 14 through 19. It was with the linebackers 2011 with the San Francisco 49ers for 2 years in the Super Bowl run that they had. Comes highly regarded from Vic Fangio, Ed Donatel, David Shaw. I say all that because the pedigree that was a major component of what we were looking for in a staff. At the end of the day, what do we all fall back on? What's been ingrained in us? And that was important to me to see that if at any point you get yourself in a pickle as a coach, what do you fall back on? So I'm really excited to have Pete there. Kenwick Thompson, another major addition for us at linebackers, with us at Cal. We'll coach our linebackers. Has been at Vanderbilt, was at Fresno last year. Another guy I've known for 20 years. Actually introduced me to my wife. And actually, we call him the Reverend because I actually had to get him ordained to marry me. Damon Magazoo from Oklahoma. Got him from one of my best friends is Alex Grinch, who's the defensive coordinator at OU. I said, called him, I said, and I'm going to brag on these guys a little bit, but this is how this all works. We're a small circle, and we all know it. I said, I need your best guy. Instantly, right away. And we've worked together. Me and Grinch, he says, it's me and you 10 years ago. I said, boom, called him. We did a phone interview, met him, called a couple of people in the background. Awesome guys can be in the back end. Trey Watson, guys with us at Oregon, unbelievable young corner coach. Who's been played at Washington, will be an amazing guy in the corners for us as a young coach, and will do an awesome job recruiting. Matt Files not here. He's working our guys out. He's our head of strength and conditioning. He was at Oregon with us 2 years ago. He was at Georgia prior to that in the fourth quarter system, as many of you guys have heard before, maybe who understand kind of that workout plan is what we'll be a part of. He was at Oregon last year with us. Loxley got the job at Maryland. I stole him back from Maryland back to our program here at UNLV. We're excited to have him. He's bringing our fourth quarter program that was at Alabama that Coach brought in. We've brought it here. Had a background with it, but with Gary Pinkel back in the day. It goes all the way back to Don James, so that lineage is kind of where that all came from for you history buffs in there. Okay. Danny Langsdorf is our quarterback coach and pass game coordinator. Again, was at Fresno State, was with us at Oregon, been the New York Giants. Coach Eli Manning's been Oregon State for years. Another really veteran coach, has been around. Great guy. If you guys want to talk about passing game, quarterbacks, and everything we do, does an amazing job of putting things together progression-wise for us. And really, really happy to have him and his family with us. Cameron Norcross, I talked about a little bit, coming in from Vandy, was also at Fresno. He's here, may step out. He's got some family things with his house and everyone getting organized here, but was at Nevada. Will do an amazing job as a run game coordinator and offensive line coach. Scott Baumgartner, our running back coach, was in New Mexico last year. He's been in Nevada, been all over the place, coached multiple levels, coached multiple positions, and has broke many school record holders in that regard. Amazing recruiter, and also in the California, LA area, and then Jordan Powpow. Guy stole from Washington, right up the road from where we were. They've done an amazing job with Coach Peterson on that staff, and Coach our tight ends and special teams coordinator. Has continued to just do an amazing job at tight ends. We are a tight end based offense. Not just to say we have a tight end, we have a tight end coach. I believe in a tight end, I believe in extra surfaces, I believe in that run game. Quick side note there, 5-6 years ago, watched the rise in 7-on-7 and said to myself, I think there's going to be more of a chance to gain an advantage using tight end runs and real runs, in the fact that I was looking at so much 7-on-7 and curious if people were going to still spend the time to stop the run and fit the run correctly, i.e. with tempo, i.e. with multiple 7-on-7 year-round calendars, where you're really going to sit down and fit the run. And so we continued that. That's my background, but I believe in it wholeheartedly. That's why we truly have a tight end coach. It's not just a man without a home at practice. That's really it. That's the staff. I've got an amazing group. I've got, again, I mentioned my GAs and Charlie Landgraf and Nate Longshore, and offensive analysts who are here. And we got a couple guys that are on their way here that I can't mention yet, but excited about. Philosophically on offense. Okay, a couple things that we're going to kind of I'll touch on here, and then I'm going to get into really just kind of some macro and talk some third down play. That really is what we're going to get to, and kind of a way that we plan it. Our philosophy, okay, for those four boxes right there, those right there are there's zero compromise. It's all about the ball, top 10 nationally. Taking care of the football, we do every day. There's a ball security circuit we do every single day. There is some element of it. It's a team deal, offense and defense. It will be in everything we do. New England is probably the biggest influence there, internship there back in the day for 2 different separate times, weeks at a time. They, in my opinion, did the best job of putting together a plan that is implemented throughout what they do in that regard. There's 3 different stations at certain ones. There's a tackling circuit that's involved, but the ball in itself for us every day is involved in what we're doing, trying to take it away or trying to keep it. And it's a huge emphasis. And that's not just said, it's not just rhetoric. It's actually going to be something that you'll see if you came out to our practice and walk away saying, what were the 3 things you heard? I continuously heard these guys talking about the ball. We talk about it in staff meetings. We try to get it out. And again, it's just something that comes to light more and more. Fundamentals sound: block, run, throw, catch, tackle. Okay, yeah, that sounds like rhetoric, coach. It is. It's not. Everything we do is broken down into a teach progression, and it all starts at the foundation when it comes to blocking, running, throwing, catching, and tackling. And we start as a staff doing it. We actually walk through things as a staff a lot. I'm a believer of that. We're going to walk through this week. We walk through our 4th quarter program. Now we're out of shape. We're going to be hurt. Hopefully no one gets hurt. But we're going to run it. We're going to work the stations. We're going to do it. We're going to see what it's like for our guys who haven't done it to sit in there and do those things. It's no different than what we do in many practice elements. We want to basically enact what they're going to do ourselves. Get a feel for what it really is like. What's it really like to bang the tires yourself a little bit and flip those things around and do it yourself and get in there, as opposed to just blindly telling guys we're going to do it. We're going to do those fundamentals. We're going to teach them. We're going to walk through a ton: running, throwing, catching, tackling. And then we try to make sure these things also, and I'm going to get to the end of it, I'm jumping ahead, these actually go into our off-season program as well. Okay, so our off-season program has our core philosophies engaged. Example of that is any way we can incorporate it in our workout. Okay, one example of anyone who follows us on Twitter is funny. Yesterday, on social media, we actually incorporate towel pull-ups is a huge part of what we do in our weight room. And the reason is that is ball security. I want guys to have strong hands, fingers, wrists, forearms. So we have a pull-up component of our off-season training that's not just inverted or around. It's also towel pulls, and that plays into our philosophy. Everything's trying to be tied in some form or fashion. That's just a weird example, but yesterday I saw it, I was like, there it is. There's an example of something that's going to carry over to the program. Fundamentals are the same thing when we go through our weight program is how let's use an example of lifting and benching, okay? We've got a ton of the Cadillac press where we really implement what we're doing with guys and their arms and hands inside, which we go out to the field and we talk about, but where did it come from? Is there other places and ways we can facilitate that? It goes all the way back into our weight room, and we've got a ton of things where our workout plan has our hands inside and thumbs up. And that plays into when we hit the field. That's going to be something that carries over. Throwing, catching, and tackling, fundamental stuff. We've got, use an example again of what are you doing not just between the lines. We've got electric tennis ball shooters in the meeting rooms. Okay, anything we can do to get our guys hand-eye coordinated. As an example, we have a quarterback development program of system or a couple little drills that are off-season, which have to do with rotation and no ball. Some of those things you'd see if you came to our practice and our workouts. Examples of fundamentals, we take them serious. Situational mastery, and the first thing up there is first and second down. We're going to talk third down, but this is probably the most important thing I've changed in the last 5 years is first and second down. I am a little bit of a geek when it comes to analytics, not in the fact where it's going to slow or bog me down, but in regards to what wins football games. I really want to know what are the categorical things, what's the empirical evidence over the long term, not year to year. I want a long-term look of what's going to win football games, first and second down. We all say that, but the only thing we go into a lot of times, and I say that because I made the freaking mistake early in my career, is third down, and that is a money down. Yeah, I'm getting off the field, but how can I help myself? How can I impact my group and understanding prior to getting to that down? Okay, so one of the things we've done that we do now that's really helped us when we go our Tuesdays, which are first and second rundowns, when we come from a sideline huddle or we have any opportunity to get myself in the huddle and go P and 10, first and 10, second and 5. We have chains at every practice. Okay, we ask a lot more on first and second down. We don't take it for granted. Is basically the point. I put up the stat on P and 10 as opposed to third down after a game. I bring it to light during practice. It's something that our guys, and then as the course goes on, when ones go, say it's a rack here, and you got ones and twos, right? The ones go out, they're calling P and 10 in the huddle. It's P and 10, P and 10, P and 10. Reminder, got to have an efficient plan P and 10 because that's going to correlate over the course of time into being a manageable third down, right? Why does that matter? Well, that matters because 2 first downs then correlates to a much higher scoring percentage within a drive. Okay, they're all connected. So we're trying to teach the game that way. We spend a lot of time trying to teach the game, and that's why situational mastery we spend a lot of time on in camp, and we make sure guys have little sound bites and triggers to understand what can be successful in that regard. First and second down for us is an absolute. We study it. It's one of our core principles. It's one of the outlets. It's one of the core things we study after a game. And third down then effectively comes right with it. And we've done a nice job on third down. And then attacking is the last part. We are aggressive. We play with tempo, and I've changed over the years. It used to be super fast, just like everybody else. Okay, it used to be super fast. Well, defense has caught up. Defenses are smart. We try to make sure that we're locked into that. We play with tempo, and it's now multiple. Okay, everyone says multiple. Okay, it is a multiple. We change gears a lot. We now the teach progression of it though does start fast. Because in my opinion, having done that for the years we've done it, starting fast is easier to slow down than it is to go slow and try to go fast. Your guys don't get into that. If I could tell you anything in regards to, man, we're thinking about trying to implement no huddle and changing tempo, start with, let's use an example, we'll talk through it, turbos, like one-word play calls. Oh, hey, you guys use those? Yeah, we use it. We use a ton of them. Got about 50 of them, actually. We don't carry them all in a game plan. But we start with those. That's first day camp. Here's the first 3 turbos. And those are something we do in the very beginning of practice. First thing, whatever it may be. If it's team takeoff, TTOs, like many of us call it, or whatever it may be. Ours are turbo calls, and there's an emphasis there. And we teach it a certain way. We move the ball a certain way. We tell the refs a certain way. We signal it a certain way. It's not just, there's an emphasis there. We also will slow it down. We're not afraid to slow it down and get in the right deal. The quarterback has a ton, as in the background that we've got in our style of offense, we do still teach the quarterback pure football. That I can't get away from with Jeff and Dirk and some of those guys I've had a chance to be around. I'm still teaching protections. We're still teaching run games. We're still teaching long edge runs, tight end runs, checks, open edge runs, things like that. We're still teaching that system, and we kind of give a little bit more as they go within the grand scheme of things. And then we will use a little bit of look. I've gotten away from look tempo, as we all know, check the sideline. I got away from that a little bit and empowered the quarterback more to kind of control it. So that's a big part. And then explosive plays are a huge component analytically. Those things are huge. We do check those all the time. Where can I find an explosive play? What's my percentage of big plays? Because that is another analytical trait that sticks out. It changes your win percentage exponentially on big plays. Used to be a ton of quick game. Now we use RPOs, and now we just take our more play action and shots. We're looking for chunk plays, and we've done a good job with that. The last piece there we talk about a lot, and the guys who've been with me know this, and stole this from Sean in LA, practice performance equals game reality. We bring that to light a lot. I use that example when we show clips after practice, before the next practice, or before a game. Where did it show up? Here's the practice shot, here's the game shot. Here's the practice shot, here's the game shot. Build pictures for our guys to make them understand. And I did do that on a Thursday, and look at that. It came to light on a Saturday. How about that? That for us is a big part. Third down. Here's the emphasis here as I thought through this quickly here this last week between recruiting and everything else. I'm drinking through a fire hose, okay? Time-tested and infallible keys to victory for us, and here they are. Win the ball, and then the highlighted one I'm going to talk about today. This is for us as a unit. Win the critical situations and find explosive plays. These are the four things our offense knows all the time. Okay, win the ball, critical situations and explosive plays. Where can I find them? Win the mental game for us is the third component offensively. That's UNLV will not beat UNLV. When can my guys understand that? UNLV can't be UNLV. You got to be a disciplined group. Disciplined group that's not going to beat ourselves. Be on side, multiple cadence, be lineman assignment sound. Make sure all those principles before I get any play design that we love is at the forefront. And then finishing and winning the fourth quarter. Our off-season programs actually name the fourth quarter. Okay, for that reason, finishing and again, being proactive and thinking fourth quarter off season before you get to the fourth quarter puts our guys in the right mindset. It's a mindset deal. So those are the four things, the critical situations, X plays I'll talk about a little bit today. Next part in third downs and the macro look of it. Something to keep in mind, I made this mistake as a dumb coach early in my life. As a young coach, you get all fired up about all these plays. Too many plays. Bottom line, too many plays. We all got too many plays. Okay, and one of my best friends was one of the guys I coach is the quarterback coach of the Chiefs who just won the Super Bowl. I sent him a text the other day, congratulations, this and that, and this and that. And I've sent him over the course of the year pictures of what we all used to have, these big call sheets with 246 plays on them, and you get 60 in a game. I said, hey, you guys started really moving the ball that last fourth quarter. You guys were 200 yards and some third downs, and they went no huddle, and let Mahomes just play ball. And he was calling it, and they were rolling. He was making some plays, about 5-6 play pass. We went straight to our no huddle 2-minute deal. That's a small package usually. And you can just take that, I've done it, you take the call sheet and throw it out the freaking window. Just go with what your guys know. And we've shrunk our package immensely over the course of the years, only because I screwed it up. Too many plays. You get about 4 plays in third and 1, you get about 4 plays in medium, 3 plays in long, 3 plays in XL, okay? 4 plays in XL. You get a handful of plays. You got 14 third and 2 calls. Hopefully that's a seasoned call sheet. What if you run twice? What's your tempo look like? You'll see some of that. Last 3 years of college football, when you convert 45%, you're about 75% winning percentage. That goes up and down, but we study that. Again, it's a larger look, not just 1 year. Try to look at a bigger picture, the empirical data. Best offense is avoid third down. We talked about first and second down, but I make sure our offense knows that when we get to third down on an install. Hey, we'll be great on third down because 2 days ago we talked about first and second down. You guys got it. And then drive killers we talk about a lot too for us. Drive killers for us. Sacks, turnovers, and penalties. That's the mental game, okay? Drops, big component. We almost led the country 2 years ago in drops, and it killed us. Okay, still did a nice job, but it killed us catching the football. Mental errors, missed assignments. Those things our guys know. Find out, make sure you're not just talking plays. How can I help my guys? What are these numbers? Where do I need to back off as a coach? Don't pretend that don't go through and don't chart MAs and go, oh, it don't matter. It matters. Okay, checklist. I'm sharing this with you guys. This is literally off my chart here. Kind of things we do. Okay, this is some things we'll get into here as we watch the film. Okay, here's a checklist of things I go with third down, let alone game planning. Okay, and I'm going to explain what these mean. Okay, so when we go through a third down packaging, okay, we look at a couple different things, let alone red zone or critical components. Okay, sub personnel. I want to know sub for us is 11 personnel. Can I get the defense to sub? What's the personnel grouping? Define that on third down. Will they sub if I'm in 11 personnel and they're in base on second down? Okay, does that mean anything to you? Might not, but it does to me. Because on second down, if I know they're in nickel operation, that next third down call may be a tempo play, so they get stuck with a backer on the field. Okay, so I get the wrong personnel. Coach Hanson's in here. He knows that. We studied them a ton, playing Stanford all the time. I wanted to find out if I could leave that SOB out in the field. I don't want the nickel coming in. I want an advantage in the slot. Okay, what is the personnel? What's their third down personnel numbers? High and low pressure percentage. Okay, so what's a pressure percentage on third down? And what is it by personnel? Same thing, okay? Find out what it is. What do I need protection-wise? What do I need? Do I need to get the quarterback to change it and flip it? What can I use as quick? What do I need to be able to do as far as getting the ball out of my hand? Do I need a chip protection? Do I need a 6-man, 7-man? Can I go 5-man without throwing hot? Protection on concerns and chip protection. Do I have a defensive end who's really going to give me is it going to be a pain in my Put a little note. Yep, defensive end's going to be a pain in my I need to make him at least, I need to extend a gap, add a tight end, put a chipper there, use a protection that puts the tail back at that side. Don't avoid that situation. Don't just pretend it's not going to work. DB's technique in cover one. What's a quick note there? Is it bail? Is it off? Is the corner and boundary different than the corner of the field? It don't have to be elaborate. That's the other part too. It's just something simple. Quick little note to yourself. Bail coverage, press coverage. Great, I know in press coverage right now I better get some bunches, some movement, some motion, some stacks, because I may not have guys that can get off. We haven't had guys that get off press corners at Oregon. I had to create that. Don't pretend, oh, this looks great, man. I'm just going to line up and this dude's going to kick my be all right. I'm going to throw a slant. If he doesn't win, I'm just going to tell him, hey, get off the press. That ain't it. Move him, help him. Help him out. Put it in small motion, short motion him, get the corner to bump off. I got a little bit of real estate now. Good? You'll see some of those things. FSL is FIB to many, formation to sideline or boundary, something we use on third down that we take note of, okay? If I put the slot into the boundary and take the receiver to the boundary, will the nickel travel? Will the nickel travel? If the nickel doesn't travel, that means I probably have a safety in coverage. And now I got a nickel in the run fit. Little things like that. How can I tweak? How can I make it hard on a defense? Okay, something they don't like to do. Some adjust better than others, the FSL. You just got to figure out, is it something worth doing? This is where they're all question marks. Tempo, can I go fast? 3rd and 4, 3rd and 3. Can I get him to base and sub? Can I get him to sub if I just get on the ball and roll? 3rd and 1, don't overthink it. Here we go, unbalanced fly, inside zone, pound it at him, okay? What can I do tempo-wise? Is it worth using? Can I sprint the quarterback on 3rd down? Can I catch on tempo? Can I catch him subbing? Something sub nickel or dime. Just give me my best pass play and my best 3rd and 7. I'm gonna roll with it. Here comes dime, they're stuck with 12 guys, whoop, free play. There we go, perfect. Get me closer to it. Motion we use a lot more than probably most tempo teams. We do that for a variety of reasons we'll talk about in a little bit, i.e. Coverage identification for the quarterback. Can I get a lesser guy in coverage? Can I get a guy off? Can I change the coverage? Matchups, linebackers, and safeties, can I create it in the slot of the running back on 3rd down? Find out. Go through the looks. Where's the guy? And again, it doesn't have to be expansive. If there's one guy you feel is your guy, move him around where you can get him matched up at. Empty, can I use empty? Do I feel good? This goes back kind of protection, right? Do I feel good in empty protection? I put 5 guys out there. Who's got the back? Is the linebacker going to cover him? Is it man coverage team on 3rd down? We put the back outside, and there's a backer and safety. Hey, quarterback, man zone ID. Corners inside, there's the backer outside. You'll see that in some of these pictures. Quads, 4 by. Did they adjust? You got a picture of it. The other thing is, in all these too, don't guess. Don't guess. If you do guess, have an absence of fear, go with it. I'm going to be talking out of both sides of my mouth here, but don't guess and go, If you're gonna do it, do it. Screw it, let's go, we're rolling with it. Here's our adjustments, we believe in it, it's what we do. Practice it, don't just invent it. If you don't know, don't say, I think it's an adjust, and the quarterback makes the wrong decision, you gave him the wrong picture. That ain't fair, right? Stacks and bunches we talked about, stack receivers, bunch receivers, what do they do? Have a plan for that, can I get them off the line of scrimmage? Motion ID we talked about, man zone, help the quarterback out. What's the coverage? Can you change the coverage? Snap front, probably not something that many of us have, but I'll make a note of it. Double A gaps, okay, a big deal now. That's the big du jour, okay? So and everyone wants to know walking the backers up and bugging the center and trying to get that's a pain. You gotta have a plan for it now. Come up and bug the center, you're in a slide. They're trying to put a big guy now on your back, trying to overload it and make your back get out. What is your plan for that? Okay, can you false point it? Are you gonna full slide the whole thing? Is that what they want you to do? And now that rangy dude on the end standing up, staring at your back, like, come on, little boy. That ain't good either. So have a plan for that. Cover zero, what's your cover zero plan? Gotta have that on third down. What's your two-man plan? Don't know if you guys have that as much as we do. What is it? Don't pretend it doesn't exist. You see it on film? They won't do it to us. There comes two-man, your quarterback's like, what am I doing? I got a corner and trail, I got a safety 3 yards behind my guy in an out route, where do you want me to go with the ball? Well, what's your plan? Teach him to run, okay? There's no one for the quarterback. And then red zone themes. So this is our checklist. This has worked for us. We'll get into some film here real quick. So here's some third down notes and just things we go through. Speed sprint, so here's a couple things. Move in the pocket on third down, okay? Move the pocket on third down. Many of us do it. The reason I got a couple of these things up here, I'll try to share with you. We've actually got an opposite zone going here. The quarterback can hand this off to the back and he can outrun the defensive end if he looks pre-snap that the end is tight and we can hand the ball off in numbers. The receivers at the bottom of the screen are blocking 1 and 2. If the quarterback likes the surface down here, he'll hand the ball off and we'll run opposite zone around the end for 3rd and 4, 3rd and 5 by ourselves, okay? If he peeks out there real fast and he doesn't see it and the leverage isn't there, screw it. The line's ripping and running. They're running sprint. We'll run away from the defensive end who should be slowed down or any edge guy off the backside, and we're hauling running sprint to the right, okay? Kind of a combination that we can play. We also do this in tempo. So we'll call it. This will be a tempo play. We get up, we get set, don't give them time, and we're ripping and running now. Opposite zone one way, sprint the other way. Quarterback makes the decision. Pretty good play for us. In tempo, man coverage up top, you see a little bit of a rub. Another thing that came up, stack splits rubs, third down, man coverage team. Can I work a little rub combination with the receivers up top, pushing up by number 2? Again, for true freshman, probably needs a little more vertical intent on that last step to be able to truly get the rub so the guy can't make the play. But again, it's 3rd and 2, 3rd and 3, 3rd and 4, right? Move the quarterback, change the launch point, go fast. We're going fast here. You notice we're set. They're still moving around. He doesn't like the edge. He sees the number counts wrong. Don't think about it too much, Q. Make the count, let's roll. But give him the look in practice now, obviously. Nothing we all don't know. Same thing here, moving the quarterback. What is it on, we're 3rd and 2, 3rd and 1. We use tight ends. We use 12 personnel. Again, nakeds. We're a naked team. We're an old school. I'm raised in an under center, kind of a pro background. We play pistol now, so again, we set the same element where the ball disappears and the ball's on the line. You can't really cheat us. We're going to hand the ball out. We're also going to slip and slide, and we're going to take things off into the flat. We're going to flood the flat here. This is flat and flatter. What we call, got 2 guys in the flat to occupy the flat defender and give him a 2-way go here and let the flat defender take the first flat, bring the second flat behind with an over. We run the exact same look, okay, and packaging-wise, the exact same play is split zone for 3rd down, and now we take the receiver inside out of slot, we skip them out and try to take 2 with the DB and the nickel out of the back, and we'll run straight split zone. Simple play, don't overthink it, run the naked, you got a quarterback who can move and get out in space, let him roll. Simple for us. Good look at it here from the back end. Again, 2 guys in the flat, 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2, don't overthink it. Okay, same look here. Okay, same look here on what we now another kind of change up naked. We actually take the line and everybody else, the eligible receiver, the tight end here on the wing, and we'll bring him back across the formation. Okay, it's a little bit of what we call an eye violation. Eye violation's getting the linebacker safeties to basically not see what's really good. Something looks freaky in the backfield, like it doesn't really make sense. The quarterback's going right, and so is the tailback, but the tight end and the line are going left. Okay, so you're just trying to give some eye wash, some eye violation. Nothing about this says that, this is all a quarterback movement naked for us. And then we run basically a simple snag scheme off of it. Sit down, you got a corner flat and sit. Pretty simple combination, quarterback movement off of our run action. Again, just a violation there into the flat. So simple look for us. Another way, again, a component we use on third and short to move the launch point versus with a heavy personnel. Okay, same thing here, okay? Same sprint combination here, downside. Really nice job by the slot receiver setting up the nickel, okay? Setting up the nickel and utilizing the coaching point there for the outside guy. Obviously has to work through that inside shoulder and be vertical and make the guy bubble. Simple sprint option combination we've all seen made famous for years, okay? Not anything fancy. Tempo on third down, okay? The key to our tempo, we actually, and this is a part we coach and we show our guys, I want to be able to turn a tempo play call on, and I want to see defense moving still. If they're not still moving and not still adjusting, either we're not going fast enough, or you need to rethink, are you getting what you want, right? Are you getting what you want? I want dudes set up, lined up, I want guys moving, I want safeties coming over, I want communication by the defense, and I want to rock and roll, okay? And we'll go fast for a yard or two, and that's all we want. Get set. We work a lot of unbalanced, okay? We work a lot of unbalanced, tight ends over, slot formations, gain an edge, add an edge, and get the ball downhill. I'm not in at third and 1, third and 2. I'm good with my backs being straight downhill and taking a shoulder off of a safety or a backer or a defensive end who's in a zone read surf technique. Same thing here. I want guys moving on the ball, third down, get lined up, get set, snap it, and let's roll. Nothing we all haven't seen in today's football, okay? But again, the emphasis for us is going to be, did it come to life in practice as well? Third and 1, third and 2, okay? Defensive end makes the play, backs downhill out of our look, okay? Offset run, more pistol as we've moved forward here. But again, let your backs go downhill and make the play on third and 1, third and 2, short yardage tempo stuff. There'll be more tempo here. Extra edges, okay? We like to add gaps in the defense if we can. Again, this goes back to the checklist. Can I add surfaces to the defense? Can I add some bigs? Do they sub? Do they have enough guys? Do you feel strongly about your guys versus their guys? Don't add extra edges if you don't feel like the matchups are good. But add extra edges if you feel like you guys can get the thing rolling and basically add gaps to the defense, okay? And then the other part about unbalance is you go through your checklist is you got to find out how they treat the front. Okay, do they reset the front? Do they treat the guard as the new center and a Cobra Bear? Do they move them over? If they do, have a plan for that. What is it that they'll do? You can actually, one element to unbalance is a little note here as I'm just spitballing. How's your center? That's short yardage, and they put that 0 on them. You're like, oh, not the guy. Smartest guy, shortest arms, maybe small. It's not a good matchup. Well, unbalanced, they may move them off them. Then you get your center uncovered. Then you get the matchup you want. So add surfaces here. Nice job on this. Nice job on the zone play here. Great double teams across it. Hips to hips, shoulder pads. Trying to get bigs on bigs, smacking people. Okay? That went to the house. Crossers. Okay, all of us are into. Dana's going to come up here after me, I think, and that's the king of the mesh, as we all know. Those guys invented it. We still use it. Everyone uses it. But we use crossing patterns to be crossings or rubs. Rubs or crossers. Okay, a motion here, you'll see it. I talked about that in the checklist, and we're going to use it. We're going to use the rub up top. Number 2 is going to pick for number 1. As he starts to his route, he's going to work to that guy. You'd like him to work to the inside shoulder. Don't want him reaching. And we'll take number 2. Again, what we've done is we've cataloged the defense early on in the week. We've said they're going to be a press team outside on number 1. Okay, we're going to use number 1 as a rub. If number 2 is the press guy, can I get number 2 in the press 1 and use 2 and 1 as the rub? What's your answer? You don't need 50 answers. You need 2, maybe 3. But you don't need 15. I made that mistake. Oh, we're going to do this, and this. No, I need 1 and 2. That's it. And run it again. Good shot there. Got a guy off. It's 3rd and 3. Catch and run. Crossers. Okay, crossers for us. Short motion. For us down here, we'll use these a lot. We'll use the back out of the backfield. What's your tailback matchup? What's your running back matchup on a wheel? Okay, if he can match up and you like the matchup, can you get him on a defensive end or backer? Is that a plus or a minus? Don't run the tailback wheel if you got a guy who can't catch. Don't run it because it looks sweet. Okay, this play is great for me. Yeah, but he sucks. Okay, don't do that. Just if the guy you get an advantage, then let him go. Let him roll. Okay, if not, it's great. If you got it, then you got to bring the crossers with it. We've got one here, obviously with a mesh underneath. Okay, you got a free access look down here. He's going to take one, he'll take the end, and we'll progress on through the progression. Again, the old crossing rules. Can I get guys that get a high and a low? Can I get them to click shoulder pads? How do they play through it? Do they have to trip? What are they playing? They play a hip position, or they get in the wake of the guy. A lot of guys are getting really good at getting the wake on mesh. And you got to coach these guys to have a little more vertical intent off the side, maybe off the ball, than anything. So we'll use some crossers to be able to solidify some of the things we want man-to-man in our third down packages as well. Okay, crossers with layers. So now we got, basically, you got your underneath crosser coming, more of a drive theory, okay, drive, whatever you want to call it. We've made a little bit of a change to our drive component in that we take our drive concept, we take the layer, the one over the top, and use it more as a deep cross type of look and bring in more of an angle instead of that old school straight basic, as many of you know. They can run the basic in zone and square it off and sit, but now we give it a man component a little bit better where they can run through in certain elements, or we just bring them on a cross and make it maybe more of a better progression to the quarterback. But you'll see this one here a couple times. Believe in bringing the shallow for the quarterback, holding the underneath level, and throwing over the top on a 3rd and 6, 3rd and 8, a little bit longer. Playing a one-on-one situation, it's a pure progression for the quarterback, and he's got to dig on the backside. Note, peer progression. What's that word, peer progression? How many peer progressions do you have in your system for the quarterback? How many progressions do you got where he can literally go from one side to the other or one read to the other and to a finish on the proper footwork? I really encourage you to find how many of those you have in your offense. And does he know how to go through them versus all coverages the same way? Or do you have peer progressions, you have half fields, you got man reads, zone reads, triangle reads. Go through and catalog what they are for your quarterback. How many different components do you have? And is it really something that you can say, okay, most guys are now going to more peer progressions. Even the NFL has gone more to it too. Let's use the Rams as one. They're using all peer progressions. Hey, Sean's like, man, we used to have them all, like you used to have them. We all used to have them. Half field, 2 high, 1 high, man-to-man, zone coverage, low corner, Mike inside, 3 technique side. One. How about, get out of here. Good to go. How many of those you got? Doesn't mean you don't teach those things, but it's for the quarterback, okay? Same thing, layered routes, use the same thing when you're at Tampa, okay? Layered combinations, again, under and over, creating 2 levels. Can I create 2 levels on crossers, not just the mesh? Okay, can I put guys in the 2nd level? Maybe it's not just 3rd and 3 run after catch. What if it's mesh and you got the zone component? Okay, where am I gonna go with the ball? Okay, again, we got 2 meshes going here. I got a back and a chase, which will come up a little later. He's a little bit fast to it. Good job there with the 2nd level, open it up for the guy behind him. The other part to that sometimes is those guys underneath switch it off, and it creates a great window on the inside. Okay. Continued crossers here. It's a great look of, again, finding the zone. Here's the great zone component. They zoned it off, okay? They zoned it off. A lot of teams do this when you go to condensed splits. You're seeing some of those checklist items, splits, bunches, okay? I want guys to get off coverage. I want to go with man team, and I want to see them go scrunch splits, great, and they go zone, zone, zone. Whoop, got about a man, great, because we're not a great man team. I don't have 2 first-round wide receivers. Good. I want to get them down to some scrunch sets. The thing with scrunch sets you got to take in consideration for all UOCs and skill guys, go talk to your line coach first, please, okay? Go talk to your line coach. Is he good at seeing the protection when guys are closer to the box, okay? Those bigs like to be, there's some stuff in there now. You can't just go, hey, we're going to scrunch and bunch, great. Now you brought the nickel right here, and you brought the Sam right here and the Will right here, and he's going, really? Great. Well, I don't know who they're blocking. So make sure you're comfortable with that. With that said, don't carry as many protections. They get more comfortable doing great. Be great at that. Then it gets comfortable with, I'm good. I know the nickel's right here. I know this guy is. But that's what that can present. But again, what do you get out of it? And then what are you willing to sacrifice for it? Okay. Great job of the hook guy finding windows, working windows here. Crossers and splits. Okay. Another thing here, you'll see it down here. Splits here. You'll see us in condensed splits. We'll change the splits. The other thing about that checklist is a little bit of this. These talks like this too, I go listen to the defensive guys, and they're like, oh, they're getting the split rules. I got cut, I got hash, I got +2. How many split rules can I give the defense, right, without screwing us up, right? Where's the advantage I can find of that? If we can find any advantage for it, Trey knows this. They do the split rule deal. Well, they got all these split rules. Like, we can't do all these checks because they'll change the splits 3 or 4 different ways. And again, a lot of times we change them just on 3rd downs or critical downs. Man zone ID for the quarterback was great here. I got the guy off the crosser in the shallow. The other guys tried to stay in press. Okay, we drained it with the running back going out to the field. Okay, quarterback read it perfectly. And again, really nice job, really, of the safety getting in the wake of this guy. You can't really pick him, but we get the underneath robber guy picked, and we're trying to slow that guy down. Our meshes underneath guys, we don't slow down. We continue to roll through. We continue. The only guy we'll shut down is really if we're running the mesh to the boundary. He'll stop out there between the hash and the numbers if he feels it, so he doesn't run all the way out of bounds at Gatorade station. Otherwise, to the field, we're rolling, man. You spend so much time. This is our philosophy. You spend so much time sitting down in windows and where we're going, and we didn't invent the noose drill, but that's not really our deal. But we're rolling through on those low ones, man. It's been good for us. Our guys believe in it. That's what we do. And again, run after catch, right? Still an empirical piece. Okay, 60% of all yards still comes after the catch. Practice clip in here, just so you guys know. I mean, practice clips for us are, I want to make them game reality. You'll see it shows up. Interesting angle here, just a note, just a side note here for you quarterback guys. I like a front angle for the quarterbacks. All we do is take an iPad out and tape them so we can see. I want to see their eyes. I want to see their eyes, and I want to see where they're at. I want to see finite things, the macro look of the quarterback play from there, not just the back side of him. We take the iPad out, and I want to see his eyes. The other note we do, you'll see it, and you won't see it on everybody, but you'll see the stripe on the backs of the stripe on the helmets of the quarterback and running back, so that in practice I can see where their eyes are. Some guys don't have stripes. We don't have stripes on Oregon's helmets, but we do in practice. We put them on there. We actually put tape on there so I can see where their eyes are in practice. Wall pass. This is just mesh now, using the tailback. Just trying to get creative, run the same thing. Not take the tailback out of the backfield, make sure the protection's right. If you feel comfortable in a 5-man protection, use your back and bring him out and let him get off the rub. And let those guys go and build a wall for him. Same thing you do with your normal mesh. You got a low, you got one right here in the apex sitting in the middle of the hook area for the second progression, and then you take your back, and really you're in 3rd and 4, 3rd and 3, and you got guys in underneath zone coverage. You don't really know where guys are headed. So you're just building layers and walls for the running back. Same look here, okay? They run it great here. St. Louis, or the Rams run it great. It seems to be LA, okay? Do a great job here. Same thing, utilizing the back in a bunch set. Now he's the mesh guy. He's the low. So now they're just running. They're using that guy to come out of the backfield, and he gets lost. He gets lost through the mesh. They're actually in a 5-man protection here. Jared knows he's hot to the right, backs the hot, and you're gone. Take your back out of the backfield. But again, make sure that guy's a guy. Okay, one-on-one matchups. This goes to another checklist, right? We're still on a checklist. Where's your one-on-one? 2 years ago, we had the Pac-12's leading receiver. Okay, no, that hadn't happened. Oregon, no one ever thought we'd have the Pac. That's not Oregon's really du jour. We had a really good wide receiver. I felt like maybe, in all reality, maybe the only guy we really had that could win a one-on-one. So we're not the team that has just the sets and we're out moving. We actually I'll move on 3rd down. We'll move guys formationally into spots to where I think we can create a matchup. And really, you don't have to do it with everybody. Find your best guy, okay? Find the best guy and just put him where you want him to go and try to create a one-on-one matchup within your checklist, great? I want to put him in the slot on 3rd down versus the nickel, okay? Because I know they're not a corners over team. Great, now I've got the matchup I like. So you'll see a lot of these things in this cut up really where I'll start him over here, and now I got what I wanted. Okay, I got one safety from the top, rocking. I got the center field safety coming down now to match, and I've got the nickel bumping out, man zone ID. I've got the guy on the nickel I wanted. I know what the coverage is, and I'm putting him in a one-on-one situation. Okay? Again, I've taken our best receiver, who usually is going to be in a certain spot, and moved him around formationally to put him in a situation that we want him in. Bunches and stacks here, same thing here. Now I've taken the best guy in a one-on-one situation, which predominantly a man look, okay? A man team that would press me if I was just lined up in 3-by-1 vertical. And I'm probably not gonna get the same release, or I'm not gonna get the same throw. I'm gonna put him in stack, motion it out, and now I've got the guy who's got him on a switch technique, one-on-one again, to go by him. Just finding a way to mix up how those guys are able to coverage. How can I build the formation pre-snap to help the quarterback or help the player instead of just the drawing on the board? How can I switch release versus a bracket team? Can I take number 2 on a bracket team and push him vertically and switch it off and see if I can gain space outside? Okay, switch release plays, one-on-one, stacks, bunches, and switches. Where can I find them that makes sense? okay? Motion, same thing here, okay? Mike's in the slot, I think in this one down here. All right, I've got what I want. Mike's usually outside. Mike was always an outside. He was always always to the right or to the left outside. But on third down, we wanted to absolutely see if we get a matchup. So we're going to put him inside on the nickel, get him off and on, just yo-yo him off a little bit, okay? Just find enough breathing room to where we want to be able to run a little short post or a little under route and bring him inside, okay? Something simple. Yeah, sure, coach, could I just run a slant? Sure you can. If you feel good that you can line up and have the nickel stand right over the guy and he can do what he wants to do with that nickel to get open. That's perfect. Absolutely. I would err on that. But what do you do? The point in this whole thing is, what do I got to do to create? How can I create something within the checklist I've got? Route stems, we believe in changing up the stems on the corner, okay? Even something as slight as a stem on an inside release, okay? A slight stem working for an outside throw on a free access corner, okay? You'll see that a bunch here, okay? Another slight stem, you'll see it getting down here. This one's actually a man zone ID, okay? Man zone ID, not just a route stem. So this is now, I'm taking the backfield out of the back, I'm gonna take it for the quarterback, motion the back out, and hey, if the linebacker or safety goes, before the snap, you've already told the quarterback what the coverage is. Anything I can do to give the quarterback information pre-snap, we can do. Do you have that in the inventory? If you don't, is it something worth looking at? Okay? But that linebacker goes out, quarterback knows it's man. I've now got the big wide receiver inside, one-on-one with the corner. I can run off the safety in a two-man look and have an out-breaking route for first down. But again, all before the ball snap. Okay, great. I got the information I want. I know where I'm going with the ball. The package has helped me. And you can do this in no huddle. You can do this in no huddle. Use terminology, shrink it, make it simple. We don't huddle at all. Same thing here, motion ID. And now the other part is, okay, maybe it's not a wideout. Maybe it's not a back. Do you got a tight end? Is it a big tight end, a big guy? We just signed a 6'7" tight end out of Northern California in a one-on-one situation. I'm going to tell him, hey, go post up and play basketball. I don't need you to outrun him. I don't need you to get crazy. Go post up a safety. That's it. And that's going to be his dominant trait. Okay? One-on-one on a nickel or a small corner, just play ball. I'm bigger than you, I'm stronger than you. Okay? What's your plan for beating pressure? Third down. Okay, what is it? Are you gonna throw hot? Are you gonna break routes off? Or are you gonna really teach protection? You gotta pick. Are you gonna add a protector, right? There's only about 4 things you can do, and this goes into the teach progression with a quarterback, as I segue off a little bit here in protection, okay? What are your answers and really what we call 4 axioms, right? They're the answers to everything we do philosophically and answering a defensive scheme, okay? How can I beat them? I can beat them with the ball, okay? I can beat pressure with a ball. I can replace a blitzer. I can put it there with the ball. That's great. I can beat it with protection. I can add a guy to that. I can flip the protection over, new Mike ID and flip it. I can beat it with that. I can add a guy. Okay, I've gone from a 6-man protection, and now I can block him. Here, come here, tight end. And I can beat him with the ball, or I got to check it. That's really it. That's our whole deal. Okay, I'm going to beat it with the ball. I'm going to flip the protection. I'm going to add a protector, or I'm checking out. And everything, if you do that in run or pass, think about that. I'm overloaded on a run. Open edge run, 4-man surface, nickel off the edge. Okay, there's my slot. I can beat it with the ball. Throwing hot, throwing a bubble. We throw bubble. Hey, nickel comes off the edge, quarterback zone, we throw the bubble. Out leverage him. Good? You beat it with the ball. The other part about the protection that I just added was, okay, I'm going to new Mike at ID, which new Mike ID means flip the protection the other way, right? As many of us know. In the run game, it's no different. I'm overloaded on a short edge, quarterback. I want to go from this run to that run. I've now flipped it. Okay, that's their answer. All these 4 components for the quarterback run throughout the whole system, run and pass. And if you get them to empower that and learn that, it's money. You're good. That's it. That's all we need. But they got to be able to know those certain things. And they run or pass. The next one with the protection was add a protector. Okay, I'm going to add a protector, go from a 6-man to a 7-man. In the run game, no different. I'm out leverage on a short edge. Here comes the nickel off the edge. I got a slot. I got a tight end off the ball. I'm running inside zone or outside zone of the edge. Quarterback. We don't have a fucking answer over here. Great. Tight end, come here. We're going from now an open edge run. Come here. We're going to add a blocker. We're going now to a lead run. Okay? And the last one is get me out of it. Check the run. Run, pass, 4 ways to fix it. Done. Clear, concise, boom. 1 page. What's your answer? Here's how we do it. That's it. It's that simple. Okay? We can't overthink it. For us, right here, he knows right now he's going to use the ball. This guy comes off the edge. He knows the protection. He feels good. He knows the back. We don't break routes off. It's just timing. He's going to warm it up. He knows right now he's going to take that guy. He has enough time to get it off. It's going to be quick game, red zone. One term we use in the red zone for the quarterbacks, quicken up, shorten up. Quicken up, shorten up. Hey, QB, know what you're doing. Red zone, quicken up, shorten up. Quicken up your footwork, shorten up your footwork, quicken up your mind, shorten up your mind in your progression. The old touchdown, check down analogy, right? Touchdown, check down. Everything down here, quicken up, shorten up. Footwork, everything. Beat pressure right here with the ball, plant throw, ball, beat the ball, beat the backer with the ball. Don't overthink it. But you got to know the protection. The reason he feels confident is because he knows the guy to the right's the only guy left. He's on the same page. You taught him protection the right way. He feels comfortable. He's flat. He rips it. Protection beats coverage. Protection beats coverage. When your quarterback feels he knows the protection, it changes everything. Okay? Verticals with shallows, a never good way. Now you see scrunch sets and you see a man zone ID. Scrunch set and I take the back out. Now the quarterback knows the coverage. Great. He's already now in his head knowing I'm going here to here to here. I know it's a 5-man protection. They bring 5. I feel good. I'm going to look at the seam now. Quicken up, shorten up. Here comes a shallow. Run after catch. My guy versus your guy. Simple look. Ball hasn't even snapped. Awesome. I already got a game plan. I've helped him out. How can I help him before the ball snapped? Same look here. They do the same thing. The only added element put this on here was they used the back as the finish. Verticals, he probably had the shallow actually, but then he went and took the matchup with the back. Same thing. Just added a component of the progression. Okay. Small switch combinations. Okay. Layered routes. Here you're going to see a concept we call cousin. Okay. Cousins in our uncle family, our under family. You're going to take the number 1. You're going to work him on a 5-yard under route, a return route that's going to go out and back in with a corner route over the top of it. We're going to peer progression this play. Corner's going to take the top to the corner. Underneath's going to be 1 to 2, either or, with a reset back to the weak side, to my shallow or my in cut. Third downs, I like layered routes. I like peer progressions, and I like backside in cuts for the quarterback to finish to. His eyes will go back there into the second level. If you can control the underneath back, you'll see the tight end run a shallow here and try to control the underneath and open that window for an in cut that's coming here in a second. Same thing, I think we go back to the in cut here. Same concept, the out, doesn't like it, back, in cut's coming, need a little hair trigger sooner, okay? A sooner, right back, try to get him before he gets to that hash. Pure progression, either or, under the flag, reset to shallow, finish the dig. That's it. It's a dance. You see it here, same concept, practice performance equals game reality, same concept, under, flag, crosser, he takes the under in a one-on-one just in a little small pocket, he says screw it, it's 3rd and 4, I got it, otherwise here comes the big dig on the backside for a home run if we hit it. Simple combination, pure progression play for the quarterback, 6-man protection, 53.5, using the whole field. Same thing here, he goes back to the dig, I'll move forward here as I move forward. Again, backside in cuts, same thing, we've always used them. We got a play side combination down here to a backside dig. Just a good place for the quarterback to finish. It's all part of the progression. And the reason I'm not going through and dictating the exact specifications of all these routes, guys, is because it's just whatever fits in your system for the quarterback in regards to the layered routes and the timing of everything, having him finish to something on 3rd down and creating layers is what we believe in. Okay? Same thing here. He comes back to this dig and rips it. He's play side, knows the coverage, back to the dig. Man or zone. Same thing here, showing the progression. We've actually got a double move with a finish. Double move down here in a slant, back to my dig. Cover 2 component with got like a Tampa 2 pre-drop, coming back and finding a window on 3rd down, the backside in cut. Again, but the progression always starts one way, and you always get to that finish. Okay, route stems back to that again up top. You're going to see a slight seam stem up top. Slight seam, again, and that seam is the same as we run our dig off of. So that's maybe one thing we can caveat there too is the fact is what's your route tree look like on certain down on 3rd down. If you're an in-cut group that's going to finish on the backside in cuts, our slight seam, meaning we're going to take that just slightly inside on our release to that corner and then come into that dig, The complement is going to be a slight seam and back out, and that's it. And that's what we work on. We work the heck out of it. Slight seam just enough to get the corner off his mark and get him moved. We're vertical, we're back out. Vertical, we're back in. So up top, just enough to get the corner off of him. He's thinking dig cut. He jumps way inside, and you've got a free throw outside. Not truly an out route, what we call a circus route, okay? We've got depth variations of it, but just enough. And again, it's packaged, it's complemented because we run a lot of in cuts. Same thing down here at the bottom of the screen, I think. You're going to see the receiver at the bottom of the screen is going to slight seam on a circus. We run a lot of ins on third down. Slight seam. Now, he over-seams this, but he's got the corner where he wants him. You got him turned, okay? And now he's going to cross his face and get him to open up and try to center field turn out of this. And the quarterback's got a lot of room outside to put that ball on the sideline on the third down. Again, just trying to create a little more space outside. Okay, good look here. Just because I'm on the clip, here's one of our chip protections. Okay, one of our chip protections with the tight end. Okay, and you can make it as simple as you want. Just make sure it's got certain rules. Make sure your O-line coach is involved in the conversations of the chip protections. For all you guys, skill guys are going to do it. Make sure those guys are engaged in what's going on and ask them what's going on if they're cool with it. Okay, because they got to have little things about it too. But once they get used to it, that right tackle loves this. Any way we can get the defensive end to stop his motor, we're onto it. Anything we can do, even if it's just a bluff. If he believes he's going to get hit like that, it's money. Slow him down. We do it with backs and tight ends. Quick game we do use on third downs as well. Spacings and slants, any peer progressions underneath. You'll see a spacing combination. This is more of a quick out that works on our cut splits. Cut splits for us is just changing the splits of the outside wide receiver and bringing him down. Can I get the corner off? Okay? Can I get the corner in kind of a no man's land, right? Just again, somewhere he's not used to being at. Simple out cuts and simple speed outs we'll use. More bunches and stacks. Okay? Again, the only note I'll throw this one out there for you if you guys are thinking about stacks and bunches is it's just a different look. Like the corner up top, the one thing we think about, and I always think about when I go listen to a defensive guy, I'm trying to listen to, okay, where did he say that's kind of a pain in the right? Is if you give those put those, and Trey would attest to this too, I'm sure, you put the DBs in spots, okay, they practice a lot in this one spot, right? If there was grass, they'd wear it out. Where can I change? We're going to find some new grass, and now he's got this weird kind of angled drop, and the guy's running at a different angle and put him kind of in a different spot than he practices 95% of the time. That makes sense? The corner up top's in a different drop and different position than he would be if the guy was displaced straight up. He's got a little room. It's kind of a guy coming at me at an angle. It's just a little different for him. Not much for us. Now, you got to coach that spray concept and how the receiver can't drift away. But again, it's just a little bit of pain. Short yardage. Okay? Short yardage. Again, third down. Don't be afraid to make the count and just go, you know what, back, you got to win. You got to win. It's 3rd and 1. Okay? I'm going to put a safety in the box, in the tackle, and you've got to get 1 or 2 yards. Okay? I'll use some eye candy and some eye violate them a little bit, and maybe slow down some second-level guys, maybe slow down the safety just enough to where I can buy you a little bit of air and get you in a one-on-one situation, and you got to do the rest. And if you do the rest after the first down, great. If you get the first down, that's what we got, what we wanted. Okay? We're just trying to get a guy in a one-on-one situation, our back in a one-on-one with a DB, and then some good things can happen. First down here. One-on-one, block them up. We use our receivers here on fly motions and stuff like that. We'll use them a couple different ways. We'll fly motion and seal. We'll fly motion and throw it to them on a slide or a slip. We'll fly motion and go back and work triple or throw it to them on a bubble. And then we'll fly them across. And we got a big dog here. He's about 6'4", 215. We're like, hey, go block the defensive end who's standing up, who's thinking zone read. Whack. Okay, same thing here. Where can I find the one-on-one? Last time I got a one-on-one with a safety who was 6 yards deep. It was 3rd and short. Great. Let's do it again. Let's get the first down. Keep the ball moving. Don't overthink it. And who knows? Maybe you'll step out of it. Okay? My guy versus your guy, one-on-one. Everybody else is accounted for. We got you accounted for. Here comes the receiver on the end. I've got exactly what I want. I got 26, a DB in the hole in the back. It's 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2. Don't overthink it. I'm trying to get a first down, man. And if he makes a miss, it's a wrap. Okay? Inside drill, right? Inside drill, and safeties are in there, all our offensive guys. This is 9 on 7, this ain't it. Well, that's it. We are huge on finding our checkdowns. Find your outlet, find your back, where is it in the progression, and make sure he goes to it. When you go to run mesh with your running back, spend the last 2 minutes and throw him the check down, okay? And don't just throw the ball. Make sure the quarterback goes through the footwork. Give him a play. Okay, I want you to run this play, and I want you to find the back on this footwork. Not, there's the ball, there's the back, there's the back, there's the back. No. Go through the read, tell me about why you didn't take that, get to that, move up, and now find him. Create. Build a better plan for him to find that thing in a progression, and then take it all out of it. Okay? Part of understanding where the back's going to be too is you better teach him some protection. I mean, if that's going to be part of your deal, because then he won't know when he's got him, when he don't have him. Hey, to find your back. Well, you didn't teach him protection. He got soaked up by the backer. You're like, wasn't very good. Flip the protection, get him out. Snap front, know who's got who. Great, you got 57. We're all on the same page. He doesn't come. Boop, there's my back. Okay? Know the down and distance, find your outlet, reset, finish. Get vertical, 3rd and 5. Find your outlet. Ship protection, find your outlet. 3rd and 8. 3rd and 8, okay? You're on the 40-yard line, you could still tilt the field. Be smart. Be smart. We got a chip protector, it's 3rd and 8. On your drawing, it's a get your 4 yards to the sideline here, tight end, and be out. Just be out there. He's a valuable asset. He's 3. Your eyes are that side. Find him. Make that guy miss. 3rd and 8, first down. Look tempo we will use. If it's something you use, we use it sparingly, just enough to know. When you look, did they look? Right? If you get what you want, great. Let's rock and roll. But that can also be a game now. Defenses have done a hell of a job. They're smart too. They know how to check out of stuff into stuff. Don't use it just to use it. Right? Oh, that looks sweet. No, give me it. Let's just roll. Outthink yourself. Get to a play and you're like, oh, they check protection. Oh, well. So we'll use look protection there. We're running just straight stems. We'll look protection to see if we got the box we want. Look, do we got what we want? Let's go inside zone. 3rd and 3, 3rd and 4. Don't overthink it. Okay, my guys are up front. They're ready to roll. Hogs feel good. Put in the trenches. Let's bang them around. They're in a pressure front, a pass pressure front off the edges. They obviously miscommunicated the front. They check. That's the other thing. Sometimes when you do use look, they do check. Then I force them to communicate at least. Maybe that is something you're like, they communicate, they busted the coverage twice. I've got 2 or 3 on here. They bust the front here on this one, okay, on a big run on 3rd down. Got another one. Don't be afraid to run it. We check the look here. We got another one here. There's another one here. We busted coverage. We look, okay, we look. We force the defense to communicate. They're changing the calls. Well, corner didn't get the memo, okay, or safety didn't get the memo. They bust the coverage. If it's something simple to you guys and you feel like you guys can dominate it, go for it. Great, you just gave me a circus route with no top coverage. So again, little things we can do. Screens on 3rd downs are huge for us. We run fast screens, tunnel screens, fast screens, base screens, and they've been really good for us. Okay, high percentage, we practice them a lot. Throw them to the back, throw them to the wide receivers. We'll work small screens. We're reading the mic right here. We're actually blocking the edge and reading the mic. Mic comes down, quarterback's out there, we're rolling. A little bit different than your old double screens where you let the end come. I feel like we've had more success, this is a Coach Langsdorfer here, is we block the edge and read the inside guy and just make it a different look, almost like a big scheme, which has been good for us. And let the back outrun them. Tunnels, throw them to the back. Quick jailbreaks, been really good for us. Jailbreak screens on 3rd down, throw them to anybody we can. Get it out. Get it out, let them roll. Let those big dogs hunt. Coaching point on there is the rat kill guy. Can you find the trash killer? Use one of those guys as a rat kill guy, those linemen, and let them get up, pick off the backside guy. Line splits, the question is O-line splits. We've varied that a little bit. It really depends on some of the stuff we've done, but we're not a real tight group. We're 1.5 to 2. You know, we want to be a little. We're not a. I've been part of places that have been big splits. That's not really who we are. Washington State. That's not really what our deal is. No, we're close now. We don't want to be. They all want to be. The big dogs want to be close to each other. They like hanging out, man. But there are times where we shrink the split. We'll shrink the split on certain runs, widen the split on other runs, create a longer edge in certain instances. We play with them a little bit depending on what we got. Good there. Thank you, Nike. Thank you, everybody, for what you guys do for your young men. it is something that's really special. We're passionate about and what you guys do and develop your guys, and our guys are available for any communication you guys have. So I appreciate you guys' time. Thanks.